Hi, everyone, and welcome to one of our segments for today. Something that I am launching simply just for you. Whether you are listening from Best, so that's build, encourage, and of course, succeed together. And at the same time, of course, if you're watching from Empower to Excel Training Consultancy. Plus, if you are also watching from the careers uh, website that we have, I simply want to say welcome to each and everyone. I'm simply so happy to have you in this segment. Now, motivated mindset Monday. Have you felt when you woke up this morning, this Monday morning, na parang tinatamad ka? It seems as if, waking up from your bed this Monday, the start of the week, it seems like, you're dragging yourself from the bed, to go to the shower and to prepare for work. Or maybe how many times have you snoozed your alarm clock? Come on. Tell me, is it few times or several times like me? Sometimes it really happens, right? Now, a lot of people sometimes call Monday as Manic Monday because Monday is the start of the week, and sometimes people, if they could just stay in during, like, can we just stay and stop the time and stay within the weekend time? Of course, people will do that because people would love to rest and simply enjoy your time or your freedom away from work. But then again, if there's one thing, we know the truth that we still have to work and we have to make ends meet, and we have to provide for our respective families. Again, even if you're single, you still have to save or invest for yourself. So we have to work. But then again, how can our mindset uh, help us when it comes to achieving success in life, and of course how we live and have the quality of life that we actually dreamed of? Mindset definitely is very important, and that's something that actually inspired me to choose Monday as our motivated mindset day, simply because it's the start of the week. Although, of course, for those who are in the Middle East, I know you started your week already yesterday. That was Sunday, right? But for most of us and in different parts of the world, Monday is usually the start of the week. And it would be great if at least, we could set our mind on positive things that will be inspiring us and at the same time be motivating us so that our actions, our feelings will definitely be positively influenced. Why is that so? So let us just take a look. What is mindset? I know you know the basic already, but then again, let us just quickly take a look so that at least you will know and understand that this segment, it will just be short, every Monday, brief, but hoping it will be inspiring and impactful, that will help you set your mind on things that are positive that can propel you forward, either progress from what you are doing right now and at the same time in your journey to success. So when we talk about mindset, so a mindset, just like most of us know, this is actually the set of beliefs that shape how we actually make sense of the world we are right now, and at the same time about yourself. And it influences, actually, just like what I've said, the way you think, the way you feel, and even behave. And what is important is the way your mind is set will also, just like what I've said, what you believe in will propel you either forward or will hinder you and, a step backwards. Okay, so what is important is for us to know how can we make the most out of the mindset that we actually have. So in order for us to do that, we have to go back to what you usually hear. Some people say that, well, I should have a positive mindset. Or why do you have a negative mindset? Other people might, be saying that. But then again, what's the difference between a positive mindset and a negative mindset? So a positive mindset, just like what we have mentioned earlier, is a mind that is focused on the positivity of the situation, and being realistic at the same time. You have to keep a balance between the two, and not only focusing on the negative side. It's more on focus on the facts and taking a look at every angle that will actually help you determine what can we get, okay, from this situation, what can we learn from this situation, rather than focusing only on the negative aspect of the situation. Like, for example, let's make it easy. Do you have a positive or negative mindset? Okay, you don't have to type it down on the chat box. All you simply have to do, is try to think and answer, to yourself. What do you think? Do you have a positive mindset or you have a negative mindset? Okay, let us put that into task. When you hear the word pandemic crisis, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? Change. What else? Oh, let us just say exercise, food, multicultural workplace, manual labor, climbing the stairs, taking the elevator, waiting, or getting your way immediately. What are your thoughts about it? Now, whatever first crossed in your mind, usually that's how you actually look at things or think about it. Now, how can it influence the way you act, the way you think, and the way you deal with the situation will really matter a lot. Because again, if you look at things positively, like for example, pandemic crisis in itself is negative, correct? Yes. But then again, if you have a positive mindset, how can you take a look at this in a positive light? That will you will balance both the facts and also the actual situation itself. Pandemic crisis caught us all off guard. Yes, definitely, and economies definitely were affected. Whether it's a like a thriving economy such as the US and Europe, and compared to a third world country such as ours, we know for a fact that this, this pandemic crisis had given us a negative effects, loss of jobs, loss of lives, right? But then again, in spite of, there are things also that the pandemic crisis had made us realize and made us learn, right? And if we will take a look also at that side, then at least it can prepare us for the next possible, hoping we don't have any in the coming in the next few years, we won't have any other pandemic crisis, but at least it can help us prevent, or at least do better actions the next time. Now, positive mindset in spite of the negative situations. I remember when I was working, I was caught in the middle of the pandemic crisis. I was working overseas on board a ship, and it was so hard because it seems that the situation all over the world, not only in our country, was so negative. But how can a positive mindset help you get through such a situation? I believe for me, it helped, my positive mindset helped me get through the situation because focusing on what can be done instead of just focusing on what had happened helped me get through, not only for myself but also for the rest of my co-employees, or like other members in the company, because a lot of them were afraid. Who wouldn't be afraid of uncertainty? But what is important is the way we look at it. So I just kept myself in balance with what is actually factually happening with the reality. I ask leaders, what's the latest update, and then I deal with the situation, and that actually helps me deal with this more positively, rather than focusing on hearsay, or let us just call it fake news. right? Because if we focus on fake news, nothing really will, it will not really help you. It will just help you to become more negative, and your mind is set to believe, the worst out of the situation. For me, imagine that there were quite a lot of people already infected with COVID-19, but in spite of, news that I actually hear from from the television about our country, about the world, borders are closing. But in spite of that, I choose to focus on what can I do better in this situation? How can I handle this situation better? Why? Because I have trained my mind in such a way that in spite of negative situation, we still have to be resourceful and find ways on how we can overcome, on how we will not actually be succumbing, or we will not let ourselves be like drawn, we will not let ourselves be uh, feel down. We don't want to feel so down and out because of negative situation, but instead we want to actually overcome. In that way, if your mind is on top of the situation instead of your emotions, because whatever our senses gather, our minds are like our eyes, okay, our ears, and all of this gather information, and it sends signal, of course, to our mind, and then of course to our feelings. So tendency is it can scare us. Now, do not be afraid to focus on or to admit that you sometimes feel negative emotions, because that's something that is natural. But then again, you have to actually deal with it. Again, it concerns the mind. Now, what is important is, again, we condition our mind, and at the same time train our minds, and make a choice that instead of choosing to choose to focus on negative things, why not focus on positive things, right? So stressors are around us. It could be situations, people, or it could be financial situations. What is important is how we actually face this, how we actually handle it. Most of the time it will be our choice. Now remember, when we were growing up, our mind was set in such a way that we didn't know that it was set that way, but because of the influences that we have while we were growing up, suddenly our minds usually are fixed in a certain way. But we can still choose, instead of having a fixed mindset, we could choose to have a growth mindset. I'll tell you more about that in our other, videos or sessions, so that you will understand what's the difference with this fixed mindset and at least growth mindset. Today, what I want to share to you is how can we actually have a motivated mindset, and it starts with those two basic things. But again, the first and foremost is understanding that our mindsets affect our life and also affect our success, because whatever our mind is set to, usually, just like what I've said at the earlier point of this video, is that that's what we will be achieving in life, right? So if that is the case, and that's we knew the truth, then why not choose number one, to be positive, right? It's easier said than done, because just like what I've said, stressors are around us, but stressors are there, but it is still us who choose our response. So it's our choice. Will you react to the situation? Will you let your emotions just, overcome what you feel about the situation? Or, yes, you feel something negative about the situation, but would you at least take time to calm down? Okay, and try to gather the facts and information and see, is there any other way around this seemingly negative situation. They always said that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, right? It seems so dark initially, simply because it seems like there's no way out. And maybe we were caught off guard, just like the pandemic crisis, right? But you know what? If there's one thing, I believe that you and me are resilient. So it means that we have to bounce back. Okay. And being resilient also is not easy. It takes a lot of, again, the way our mind is set about the situation. If we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, or in every negative situation there, you can work around this negative situation, then that helps set your mind not only to focus on negative things but also positive things. Anyway, what I'm sharing to is just like an overview or a scratch on the surface. But in the coming Mondays that we will have together, I'll definitely be sharing to you tips, insight on how you can have a motivated mindset. Remember, what I can do as a trainer is simply to inspire you with insights, with information, but for you to be motivated, it will all depend upon you. So, looking forward that all of us will be able to have that motivated mindset so that regardless of what's happening around the world, in our lives, regardless of how many stressors that we have around us, we can still, and we know that we can actually make a choice, right? Choose. Will you be reacting to the situation, or will you be responding to this situation? I also fell short. Like if I let my emotions, get the best out of me, I tend to react rather than respond. That's why sometimes I need time. Remember this, everyone, huh? Sometimes it's okay, to uh, take a breather. If you feel emotional at that certain point of your life or stage or situation where there are too much stressor, it's okay to step back or step away from that situation so that you can clear your head, or maybe sleep on it. Sleep on it so that at least once you feel refreshed, I mean, your mind is clear. At least you did not deal with the situation emotionally, but at the same time, you can let your mind actually think about the situation, analyze and think things through, and maybe see, okay, the positive light or the positive side of the situation and make a better decision, right? So again, once again, everyone, so for today, looking forward that we were able to refresh your mind with what is mindset, and at the same time, how important is it to have either a positive or negative mindset. And well, we have not yet discussed it, but I did mention that there is what we call a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and that's something that actually I would definitely love to share to you in the next Mondays. And having a positive mindset, having a growth mindset actually will help you to have a motivated mindset. And that's what we're gearing for, and that's what we're aiming for through the tips and the insights that I will share to you through this segment. And with that, since we started with Monday, so I simply want to leave this to all of you. This actually helped me. It's a simple quote, but then again, it really helped me to actually maintain a positive mindset when I was starting to work overseas. So you are too blessed to be stressed. When I was working first time overseas, there were so much stressors around me. And sometimes, you can feel overwhelmed if there are too much stressors around you and you don't sometimes know what to do, or it seems like it's beyond your capacity. Now, in order for me to stay joyful, keep the peace, keep my balance, because the mind is very important. If your mind is consumed with negativity, uh, the tendency is your emotions will follow, and worst, your actions also will follow. So being staying positive also helps you to have, and hear some tips or some words or sentences that you could actually say to yourself, especially when you're actually feeling the negativity. You feel that you're drowning of stress. You know what? This sentence actually helped me. I even posted a poster on my bulletin board in front of me when I was working for a five-star hotel. And most of the time, those leaders or employees who are visiting me and saying, "Ooh, you are too blessed to be stressed," and they will smile. And there was even one manager who told me, "Miss Jamie, I adopted also the saying that you have. Whenever I feel stressed, I just tell myself, you are too blessed to be stressed." It helps me to count my blessing. Count your blessing too. Yes, there are too many negative situations around you right now. There might be too many things that are happening all at the same time that seems so overwhelming. But remember, in spite of this, you are too blessed to be stressed. Count the blessing that you have around you, which is far more which one weighs heavier? Is it the blessing or is it the stress? How can you make the blessing weigh more than your stress? Right? To outweigh the stress. So you simply have to focus on what you can be thankful for. Uh, why did I use the example? Like, whenever we wake up at the beginning of the week, we sometimes feel uh, so lethargic. It seems like you're dragging your feet from the bed, right? I felt that too. So I didn't know because every time it's Monday or it was Sunday during that time in the Middle East, I felt it seems as if I don't want to get out of bed. I have to snooze several times my alarm clock. And whenever I'm at work, I feel, oh my, it's 5 more days before my off day or before, the weekend. Now, this is actually how my colleague usually respond react to the situation, and I didn't know I was adopting also the same reaction until one day I felt the negativity was creeping too much on me. So I told myself, no, 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 no. Yes, the reality is we do have a 1 week when we work, but how can I look at this positively and I can feel excited and at the same time think positive about it? So I did week my week countdown. So whenever I wake up in the morning, instead of saying, "Oh my, it's Monday once again," or yeah, for us it was Sunday, it's Sunday once again, I will say, "Oh, that's great. So it's Sunday today or it's Monday today, 4 more days." Because what am I excited for? I'm excited for the weekend. Want to have my me time. I want to have, to spend time with my friends. I want to go to church. So that really excites me. So I just told myself, okay, do a positive countdown. So I was doing it initially, all by myself. So I said 4 more days. So the next day I wake up, like second day of the week. Okay, great. 3 more days. And then, of course, when it's almost the weekend, I would say 2 more days, 1 more day. And, it helped me get through the week without feeling too much negativity. It helped encourage me. It gave me energy. And at the same time, I can say it revitalizes the spirit in me to work diligently. Now, I saw some of the leaders I also was training, like when we eat in the cafeteria, oh my, it's Sunday once again. Oh my, it's like, Monday once again. So I told him, you know what? We can do a countdown. You can do the countdown with me. And then I told her, whoever I hear saying that, I will say, no. They say, oh, it's Monday once again or Sunday once again. I will say, actually, it's 4 more days. 4 more days, Jamie. 4 more days before the week ends. And then they will stop, think, and then we say, "Oh, I got it." And it became a habit of ours now. Whenever we see each other, like for example, far from the hallway, I will just simply, like give them a sign and say, for example, it's the second day of the week. I will just tell them, three, and then they will say 3 more days, and then or like it's almost the time, 1 more day. So it's like, there's something that makes us actually excited. It's, looking forward for that weekend. But this time, instead of negatively looking at it and approaching it in a negative way, we approach it in a positive way. And I can say I influenced quite a number of leaders and crew members during that time, or employees, to think of it positively. So when I actually left the company, they said, we missed you, because there's no one else to have the countdown with. But at least they can do the countdown by themselves, and they can look at it positively instead of negatively. So that is just one example, everyone. I'm not sure what situation you are facing right now that feels so negative. So, but what I simply am telling you is, remember this sentence. Our motivated Monday mindset tip: always remember, you are too blessed to be stressed. Start counting your blessing instead of the stressors. And then, even if you feel stressed with the situation, is there another way around it? And maybe focus on that instead of just feeling negative about it. And at the same time, um, what are the things that you can be thankful for? That in spite you're experiencing this, there are still things that, you can say thank you, and you're blessed to have it. So, with that, everyone, looking forward that our first episode helped enlighten you, give you insights, and at the same time, of course, help to get you through all throughout this week and the coming week. So, remember this: every time you feel uh, too negative inside of you, so always just remember this: you are too blessed to be stressed. Until next Motivated Monday episode that we'll have on next Monday, I'll see you, everyone. This is Jamey Iris simply saying, you are too blessed to be stressed. Always remember that choice is yours. In your mind, you can either react or respond. Choose to respond rather than react, because let your mind be stronger than your emotions. Count your blessing, name them one by one. Until our next episode, thank you, everyone, and have a great and blessed week.